On a quiet Sunday night, the kind where the weight of the past week settles heavily on your chest and self-delusion becomes impossible. One careless sentence unraveled the life I had stitched together with the man I once believed was my soulmate. I never meant to hurt him. I didn't even know he was close enough to hear. But those casually spoken words shattered everything we had built. My closest friend, Emily, had stopped by for an easy glass of wine. We were stretched out in the living room, the soft hush of evening wrapping the space around us. My husband, Michael, was supposedly upstairs, busy with something in the attic, or so I assumed. Emily and I were talking, though it was less of a conversation and more me emptying myself out. The wine loosened my guard, and months of tension. The arguments, the long silences, the exhaustion that lived in my bones, spilled out like floodwater breaking through a dam. "I don't know, Emily," I said quietly, rubbing my aching temples. "Some days I wish I hadn't married him." The instant the words left my mouth, a chill clenched my stomach, as if I'd spoken something irreversible into existence. Emily's gaze snapped toward me, her voice sharp. "You don't mean that." But the truth wasn't clear. Part of me did mean it, in the way people do when daily life becomes suffocating, when love hardens into duty, and duty slowly turns into regret. Another part of me still loved him, or at least I believed I did. What I didn't know was that Michael stood motionless on the staircase, hearing every word. The next morning, the house felt off. The coffee maker sat cold and unused. Michael's keys weren't hanging by the door. His boots, always lined up perfectly, were gone. At first, I assumed he'd left early for work, but unease crept in. Michael never left without kissing me goodbye, not even after our worst arguments. By noon, I called his phone. No answer. I sent a text. Nothing. Panicking, I opened my laptop to email his work address, only to find a single message waiting for me. The subject line contained one word: farewell. "I heard you last night," the email began. "I wasn't meant to, but I did." Those words weren't said in anger. They were your truth. And that truth broke me. I gave everything I had to us. And all this time you've been carrying regret. Don't try to find me. The divorce papers are already filed. I'm not angry. I just refuse to be someone's regret. Michael. My breath caught as I read it again and again, each sentence striking like a hammer. There was no fury, no plea, no attempt to fix what was broken. Just a calm, absolute ending. I rushed to his office in downtown Portland, only to learn he'd resigned that morning. His desk was empty. By afternoon, his phone was disconnected. His social media accounts were gone. Friends knew nothing. His brother would only say Michael needed space and didn't want contact. It was as if he had erased himself. Days later, the divorce papers arrived, clean, official, sent from an attorney in Seattle. His signature was already there. The process had begun without a conversation. I had become a formality. Name, address, checkbox, finished. I expected anger to rise or denial to take hold. Instead, I was swallowed by guilt. Memories flooded back. Michael looking at me like I was his entire world. His patience when I needed distance. His steady presence when I faltered. Then I remembered his face at dinner just days earlier. Tired, distant, still trying. He hadn't left first. I had. Sleep abandoned me for weeks. I replayed that moment on the couch with Emily endlessly, dissecting why I'd said it, wondering whether it was true, or whether I'd simply let my doubts rot in silence instead of speaking to him. Months passed. I hired a private investigator in Denver. The trail went nowhere. No address, no financial trace. Michael had disappeared completely. Eventually, I understood why. Hearing those words, spoken when he thought I didn't know he was listening, wasn't just painful. It was clarifying. It confirmed what I'd refused to admit. I had let my love for him erode quietly, and when he finally heard it out loud, he chose to walk away with his dignity intact. Now I wonder where he is. Is he at peace? Has he found someone who wakes up each morning knowing he is the best choice they ever made? Because only now do I see the truth. He was mine, but that understanding came too late. Michael disappeared to reclaim his peace, leaving me alone with the echo of my own careless words. Words I can never take back.